Are you searching for gifts for an artist and you don't know what to give them? Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's your partner. Well, I am an artist, and in this video I'm going to share with you lots of ideas. I think it's around 36 of them. As I am an artist myself, I know what we normally want, like, or need. I'm going to divide this video in 3 sections. The first one would be art materials, the second one would be about tools or other things that can help them and they may need or may be interesting for their artwork, and then the third one is hobbies, creative hobbies, because as creative persons we are always searching more hobbies and more creative activities, so I am going to give you some ideas on that too. Let's begin with art materials, and for this section and for everything you need to take some things in mind. The first one would be that it's really important that the art material is really good quality. This doesn't mean that it has to be expensive, but a lot of the times the quality is in the price. So if you give them some material that is bad quality, they won't use it, but if it's good, it's really probable that they will use it, they will paint with it. Another thing is that you buying them some art materials, or maybe a canvas, maybe some brushes, paints, everything, it's a way to support them, to support their art, maybe their business if they have one, and it's really important for us because that's a big investment and it's a really nice way to say that you support them. And then the third and last thing to have in mind is that when we go to an art store we want everything, but normally we are not rich people and we cannot afford everything. We normally tend to only buy the things that we need and the ones that we try to find good quality but in good price. So if you give them something that it's not what they normally use, that it's something more special or something that they wouldn't buy normally but they really want, they will love it too. And another thing that I almost forgot is it's really important that you know what they use, what style they have for all these gifts. So look in the art studio or in their area where they have their art materials, what they use the most or what they have. Also search what it's their style, what they like to do with it, and that way you will find a gift that it's more for that person. So now let's begin with the art materials, and the first one would be handmade watercolors. This, as always, depends on the art material or the technique that they use, but if they like watercolors, we normally buy the ones that we can find at the art store, but there are some brands, some little brands that do handmade ones, and normally those are really good quality. Lots of them are made with pigments as the other ones, but a lot of them are made with maybe rocks or sand that they find in the area of the owner of that business, and those are really special, so that would be a really good option. Then if they also use watercolor, there are some brands as this one, which is, I think it's Finetec, Coliro or something like that, and these are metallic watercolors or glittery ones. These are really beautiful, these are amazing, I really love them, but these are a little bit more expensive, around €5, and I love them, but as they are expensive I buy them little by little, or I put them in my Christmas wish list. If you know that they will like them or you know which colors they would like, go for them. There are tons, but if not, the gold is always a really good option because it's not probable that they will use them. There are also more brands of these kinds of watercolors, so do a little bit search, but the ones I have are these ones and I really love them. Then also there's another option of packs of maybe a 72 color pencil pack or maybe a 20 acrylic gouache pack or things like that. There's a lot of packs and they come with lots of colors, so that's also a good option to try a new art material, but at the same time they have tons of colors so they can work with it and do lots of different things. Another thing that we normally really love are sketchbook. Not all of the artists use them, but a lot of us we really do, and we really love them, so it's always a good option because we like to keep lots of them and for different things. You will find some of, like this one, this is a sticker but these are plain but have really good colors, and the paper I really like it. Not for everything, I like them for sketches or for color pencils or things like that, but not for everything. But these ones that have really beautiful colors are normally not really expensive. These are around €7, 5, 6, something like that. So we normally have these ones, or a lot of us have these ones. So try to go to more special ones as these ones. I really love this one. This one is from Handmade. These are a little bit more expensive. This is around 20 something euros. But I love the paper of these ones. This one is for watercolor, and this is my favorite paper of a sketchbook. And there are some that have white paper, but then there are also some others that have tone paper, so those are really cool too. And this would be a really good option. I am not saying that you need to buy these brands. There are tons of brands, so go to the art store and ask them what they have, what they recommend you, because there are some amazing sketchbooks, and I think this is always a really good option. And then the last thing would be a fountain pen. We use ink, even if it's just to write something or to maybe do some, for example in my case, nature journaling or things like that, and these are really cool. Normally you can buy the ink, but there are some others that you can fill them with your own ink, and you can put different colors, and these are really cool. This is from Kawico, but then there's also the Lamy brand, and there are a lot of brands. Now let's move to the other gifts that are more related with tools or with other things that are not paints or art materials itself. The first one would be an art kit. There's tons of different art kits that come with tutorials, and a lot of them come with tutorials from a specific artist. So search if there are some artists that person likes, and maybe some of them have an art kit. There are different brands. For example, it's Mossery with its sketchbook, but also at some different art materials, and with, I think they come with a tutorial or with something of the artist that it's in the cover of the sketchbook. Then there's also Craft Ammo, and I know this one because of Sarah Barnes' studio, which is an artist that I love, that does lots of landscapes, and she has a box that comes with a tutorial, but also with brushes and paints and I think everything that you need. And then there's also Scrapbox, which comes with a lot of different art materials, and I think they also give a little tutorial or a little idea of what you could do with it. Another thing would be a ceramic palette or a glass palette. This depends on if the artist uses oil paintings, which would be for the glass palette, or if they use more like watercolor or wash or those kinds of paints. Normally with the glass ones they are more simple, but with the ceramic ones you can find amazing ones, because a lot of ceramics artists do them, and there are some that are really beautiful with really beautiful shapes, and they will love it. Another good option would be nice clips, and you will think, what? I mean the ones that would be used here, for example, in my hand, where I have my hand. So the clip holds the sketchbook open, and this is normally really useful when you paint outside, because with the wind the pages move and it's not as comfortable. But with a clip it's a solution that covers that. If you know that that person is interested in digital art, they maybe haven't started yet, it would be a good option to give them a drawing tablet. There's tons of different ones with a big range of prices. There are some that are not that expensive, but it depends on what they have, and maybe if they have a screen and maybe not, or the little things that they have, so that adds the price, but you can find different options. And also if they have an iPad but don't use it for drawing, you could get them an Apple Pencil, and then also the Procreate app, which I think it costs only $12, and that's it, you don't have to pay it anymore. Another thing that for me it has been a big game changer is an easel. This is a table easel. You don't have to give them a big one, a standing one. If they want it, or if you know that they will use it, it's a good option, because this is really good for back pain, for neck pain, because when we paint and we are not using this, normally we are with this position, and this is horrible. This creates a lot of pain in the back and in the neck, and with this we do not look down but a little bit more straight, so it's amazing and I really love it. And this would be if they use traditional art, because if they use an iPad, there are some iPad stands that are made for that, and it would be the same. And similar to that would be an iPad cushion. If you know that they like to draw in their iPad when they are in the couch, there are some cushions that are made with the shape to have there an iPad, and it would be more comfortable for them. And the last thing for iPads would be a really nice iPad sleeve, because normally they have the case that all the people that have an iPad have. But if you're going to draw outside, maybe to a cafe or maybe to I don't know, to a park or something like that, it's not as protected because we normally have a lot of things on our back, and I don't know, that would be more protected and that would be a really good option. There are some that are really beautiful. We also tend to accumulate a lot of art materials, and that means that we need to organize everything well so we have a nice space, even if it's a little bit chaos, but in our organized chaos it's really good. So there are some organizers that some of them are made with wood, some of them are made with plastic, different shapes, some nice boxes. Also pencil holders, as this one, which is a little bit funny and really cute and beautiful as well, would be amazing because then it's more inspiring our space. If that person likes to go to paint or draw outside, or to go to different places that are not their art studio or their art space, you could give them a really beautiful pencil case to have all their pencils, paints and everything organized to when they go outside, but at the same time it's really beautiful and good quality. Light is crucial when we paint, so a good lamp is really important, and if they don't have one, you could search for one. Some of them you can change if they wanted to have a warm light or maybe a more cold one. To paint, for me, I think the better is for a neutral one or a cold one, so you can see the colors much better and more real. But it's really important to have a good lamp, and mostly if they paint in the night or in the evening. If they like to go to paint outside, there's another something that I found some months ago and I think it's brilliant, and it's an etcher satchel wax. There's 3 options of them and it depends on the size. The first one is the small one, then there's the medium one, and then the big one. The big one it's really big. For me it would be too big, but the medium one, it's the perfect size as the little one. But what happens with the little one, it doesn't have something that the other 2 have, and the medium one and the big one have in the bottom of the bag or in the base of it, it has something to attach the bag to a tripod. So if they want to paint outside with it, no, just with the bag, 3 of them are good. But if they want to have a setup similar to an easel, those 2 are amazing, and I think the medium one is the best one, but it depends on what the people want or what they need. We also admire lots of artists, so search on their Instagram what artists do they follow and see if they have an Etsy shop or maybe an online shop, or maybe go to a concept art store in your city, which normally have a really good selection of different artists of different styles or of different things, maybe ceramic, maybe painting, maybe bags, maybe things like that, and you will find really good things and they will love it because we normally like to see art everywhere. It inspired us and we like to hang it in the walls or maybe decorate our sketchbooks with stickers. So I am going to show you some things I have in my own shop as an example, and also so you can see them. For example, this is an art print that I have in my shop. You can do also a little search in Etsy of the style, or maybe of what you want on it. Also some people have stickers, but also bookmarks. For example, I have these ones that are magnetic, some notebooks, then tote bags. I have also this tote bag with my own paintings. You can find mugs, you can find coasters, you can find so many different things. So you have a lot of options there. We also always like to get better with our art, and to do that we need to practice, but also do some classes and learn more. And a good way to do it is to go to workshops. So you could give them a workshop from an artist that they like, or maybe from a thing that they like to do or to paint, or that they would like to get better or to learn. And also similar to that, but in a digital way, there's a lot of Patreons, and also there's a Skillshare which has a lot of different classes that you can follow from different artists. And in Patreon there are some that have classes, only classes, or maybe classes on something else. And then there are other artists that do not have classes but have maybe art prints that are only exclusive for the Patreon, and they send it every month, or maybe also stickers and little things. So that's similar to before. It's a mix of that. Another good way to learn is with books. There are some books that are to learn that are really good, but then there are also other books that are from the art of different artists. You can find from actual artists, but then also from old ones as Sargent, as Monet, as different ones. And for these ones, it's really important that you search ones that have big images but that are really good quality, so they can look how they work and see how they do every stroke and everything, and it would be a really good way to get inspired for them. Also, if they like to share their art in the social media, maybe in Instagram, maybe in YouTube, maybe things like that, you could give them some things for that. Maybe a tripod, maybe a camera, maybe a microphone. It depends on the content that they create, but you can find a lot of different things that will help them, and they will be really thankful for that. If they are an artist and work from home, it will be amazing to give them some comfortable clothes but that are really beautiful, because the artists that we work from home, we tend to work in maybe pajamas or in maybe some clothes that are not the most beautiful, to save those for when we are outside, but have some that are really comfortable but really beautiful, and you tell them that it's to work from home so they can feel beautiful, they can feel comfortable. It will be amazing, because we normally don't buy those, but we really want those, but we just don't do it because we focus in other things more important. And the last thing for this section is, if they like to listen to maybe some music, to maybe some podcasts or audiobook, it would be amazing to have some headphones that are maybe the ones that cancel the sound around us or things like that, so they can focus when they are painting, or they can listen to it. And the ones that are wireless are really good because you can move around and do anything you want, and you don't depend on having the wire connected to your phone or to whatever you are using. Now let's move to the last part, and it's for the creative hobbies. I think they will like it, because when we began working as artists, painting for us started as a hobby, but in that moment it stops being a hobby and to just distract ourselves. So we tend to search for other creative hobbies that we may like. For example, I would recommend you crochet, which is one that people is really loving right now. It's really popular, and you can find a lot of ideas and tutorials on the internet. But also there are some crochet kits that you can find in the stores. Then also build sets, which are really fun, and they can use it in their art studios, decor, or in their house, and it's really fun to do it, and also really good looking. Punch needle is another one that it's really also addicting. It's like crochet, you begin and you cannot stop, and they can make rugs, they can make a lot of things, and it's really fun, and you only need the specific needle for that and yarn, and that's all. Then you could also do some things together. Maybe you could go to a class of ceramics, for example, together, or maybe plan some different art dates together, for example, to go to the park to paint, or to a museum, maybe staying home and do some things with clay. If you are with them doing that, it will be more fun for both of you, and you and that person will never forget it, and it will be really fun. So these are all the ideas that I came up for this video. I hope those help you. Leave me in the comments if you give them some of the ideas that I put in this video, or if you have other new ideas. So if someone is searching for more ideas, they can find them in the comments. And I hope this video helped you, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because that will help me a lot to grow my channel. And yeah, I love you so much, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye! Mwah!